Welcome to Yellowstone National Park, the east entrance to be exact, about an hour from Cody, Wyoming.
Welcome to the channel of the Roving Veterans.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Bethany.
And don't forget about our dog, the Traveling Maverick.
We chose our name because we RV, and we're also both military veterans.
We bought our first camper in 2020 and been full-time ever since.
So upon exiting Yellowstone National Park's east entrance, it showed that the sign showing everything it said the Cody is 55 miles. So the Pascatepe area is going to be the first place that you can stay outside of Yellowstone National Park's east entrance. So that's that whole little area right there. You can have cabins, they got an inn, all of that stuff. All right, the Threemile Campground is going to be the first, it's forestry land, but dispersed camping, I'll call it, campground that you can use at the east gate. So let's show you what it looks like. We're one way, 10 miles an hour. Also, previously, these parks required reservations. However, this year they've moved to no reservations, first come, first serve, which I prefer. Some people don't, some people do. But I'm kind of showing you how big these campgrounds are. I will say I am Samsung and I am AT&T and I have zero cell phone service in here, zero. So if you have Starlink, depending on your situation and where you put it, you might be able to still have Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi calling and texts. But overall, no cell phone service out here. And this is what your campground is looking like. Here's a spot. They're not very big spots. There's a little something. Chipmunk maybe? Hello, buddy. Yeah. It's beautiful. I've still not seen a campground site that I would feel comfortable with us bringing our 42 foot in. Looks like they have a horse trailer right there, which would make me really nervous to be out here knowing that this is bear country, leaving your horses out here. It might attract animals. I really don't know how that would do, to be honest. But 3 Mile Creek, there is a river / creek there. This is spot 16. Well, it's nice that reservations are not required here, and that it's first come, first serve, because that gives people an actual chance to be able to camp here. And I say that only because so often campgrounds are empty but solidly booked, and it's not right. And I'm thinking maybe that's why they moved to that. So there you go, there you have it. That is the 3 Mile Campground, right out, the closest one you can get to the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. And there is a fee. I think it was $14 or so. I didn't quite check and look, but the forestry rangers told us that most of the campgrounds back this way towards the park are about $14 a piece. So come here, know that. One thing I will say is that campground was very shaded, so if you are solar dependent, you need to remember that. Also, if you are not and you use a generator, remember it's forestry land and you don't get to use that thing after 10 o'clock. So yeah, you got to be full charge batteries or be using your power sparingly. Okay, now I am going to the Sleeping Giant. This is the ski area right outside the east entrance of Yellowstone. We'll see what this looks like. It's the skiing area. There's a ski lift right there. There's a little check-in building right there, but it's the middle of summer, July to be exact, so we're not going to try to ski today or really show you how to ski today or any of that, but there is a ski zone right outside the east entrance. Just know when you come here, if you're coming to ski and you think you're going to go in the east entrance to go see Yellowstone, you're not going to do both. Because when there's snow on the ground, the east entrance isn't open because there's too much snow in Yellowstone. So this year, the east entrance opened May 9th. And this area didn't really have much snow left because we were here. So this is kind of one of those areas that I guess you can come to in the winter if you want to see the ski lodge or the ski and whatever, and you can come in the summer if you want to see Yellowstone. But even though it's only about 10-15 minutes drive, you're not going to be able to do both. So, well, I guess if you got a snowmobile, maybe you can snowmobile your way in there. I really don't know, but I'm not going to try to give you false information. All right, the Eagle Creek Campground is going to be the second closest campground to the east entrance of Yellowstone. So this was maybe 5-10 minutes further down the road. And we'll see what this one looks like. I have not driven through any of these yet either. So they have a camp post right here. How about that? So the camp post usually has full hookups, and that's usually the only one. These are all dispersed campgrounds. I do have 0 cell phone service. I feel like for any of you that's important, you need to know there's 0 cell phone service. AT&T anyway. So there's you some little pit toilets. You got camper van right here. Some of these spots actually might be big enough for a larger camper. This one's a pull-through site. Let me see how this one feels. Still feels too small for us. But some of these back-end ones, like that one, we could probably back into that. This guy's, there's 2 right here. This is 6, and I'm not sure what that one is. There was 2 beside each other. So here's you another little one. This one's a pull-through one. We could actually probably fit in that one in our 42-foot, but it would be really nervous. But if we had to, we could. So these are $14 and there's your fee. People wonder all the time. I have people ask all the time, there's a fee to camp with no services? Well, just because you don't have internet and you don't have water and you don't have power doesn't mean there's no services. Somebody's got to pay for that dumpster that you're going to throw your trash in, and guess who it's going to be? You. So that is why there's a fee there for anyone curious. We're going to see what's this way, because this campground is... This is also one thing to remember, this clearly states hard-sided camping only with the picture of a camper on it. That's because this is a bear area. This is an animal area. This is an area where there's lots of wildlife, dangerous wildlife, and your tent's not going to protect you. So you have to have a camper to stay in this campground as well. So just remember that. It's not to be mean, it's to protect your life. This one's kind of large. There are quite a few pit toilets. I'm shocked at how many there are, if we're being honest. You got him a goose out, it looks like. Here, pull somebody right now. And just remember, you still are on the river here. Well, trees, 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 bushes, bushes. Let's see if I can see it this way. There you go. Yep, you're on the water here. And now we're back to this is a one-way, and it had a little loop to turn out of here. This would be your view. And these are the campsites going the other direction. But I just wanted to show you. Hard sided only. That is for your safety. 16-day limit. It is a fee area. Alright, and that one is the Eagle Creek Campground. Done with that one, and now I'll show you the third closest campground, government type land that you can stay on, closest to the entrance of Yellowstone National Park, east entrance. While I'm at it, I'll just show you some of the scenery around here. Literally just pulled out of there, 24 miles to Wapiti, 44 to Cody, and then there's Powell. The traffic heading into Yellowstone right now, I didn't even start recording until I'd already seen 20, and then I started and this is what's left. That's insane. But that's also why I'm trying to come in the mornings. Like, I know what time of year it is out here at Yellowstone now, so you ain't gonna find me trying to come to the park at 8:55 a.m. because it's already too late for me to want to be here. Because I don't like having to get behind all those people. You get behind all these people and you have to go as slow as they want to go, and if you want to stop, you can. That's the only way around it. Literally the only way around it. That just don't look like fun to me. So I'm gonna say go in the morning before everybody gets there, because you can still see plenty by 5 a.m. It is plenty sunlight out here, and that's not a joke. Look at this. This is outside of Yellowstone. This is in the Yellowstone National Forest. Newton Creek Campground. Dispersed campgrounds that you can do kind of close-ish within 25 minutes of the east entrance. So that one is this one. We'll show you what this one's about now. I will say these sites are, you get to go over one of these. These are tiny sites, and still, this is no tents allowed zone. Still no tents allowed. I'm just gonna park right here and use this little potty though. So I'm just gonna show you, this is my Jeep. This is spot 19. So this is about the space that you're gonna have. You got you a picnic table though, which is cool. You got you a bear box in case you need to keep anything in it. You gotta lock it up. I mean, if you're in a camper and you have to be here, I don't see why at that point you don't just leave it in your camper. So this is about the size. Man, if we did fit here, it'd be real close. But here's what it is. So Jeep here. Yeah. Over here you got spot 21. I'm just showing you you're right along the river, water, whatever. 22, you're gonna be right along the water as well. I'm not gonna say it's really, really raging, but it's water. And these people made it. But there are some larger spots. Saying that, I don't know where you might put your Starlink if you have Starlink, because still at this campground there is zero cell phone service with AT&T. Zero cell phone service with AT&T. So That's one thing I'm telling you about all of these dispersed campgrounds, though, close to the entrance of Yellowstone, is there's a lot of them that, but doesn't mean you're going to be able to use any kind of technology. And remember, these campgrounds are dispersed campgrounds, so you can be here, you can have a generator, but you can't have it on after 10 or before. I'm not sure what time. I don't get up that early. And your solar is going to be whatever solar you can get out here if you're a solar person like us. Back to spot 19. Back across this bridge thing. It's a little easier to see the campsites going back this way, I feel like. You can kind of see how big they are with stuff in them. And then this one's probably the campground host, I would think. But I'd say they had to have that much stuff out. This campground is also a hard-sided camper only, no tents allowed campground, and that's because it's bear area. So just remember that. Look how beautiful you come out to, though. Absolutely gorgeous view. And there we have it. Quite a small campground, but it was the Newton Creek Campground. I missed the sign, but this one is the Hale Campground. This is also from the Yellowstone National Forest, so it's forestry land, dispersed camping, also still a fee, because they have dumpsters, they got the bear boxes, all the things that they have to do to allow you to be here at all. So here we go. Entering right here. The sign says saddle, pack, and draft animals, and it had a horseshoe on it. I'm assuming that has something to do with y'all horse people, but I don't know anything about horses, so that's that. So this campground, if you've got your Starlink, you could use it just fine out here from appearances. And you can get some bigger rigs in this one. So look, we even got us a little Cruise America one out here. Just to kind of show you a little bit size-wise what we're looking at here. This is the Hale, H-A-L-E Campground. So now we're getting to some of the ones closer to Wapiti instead of Yellowstone. But something we've learned since we've been out here, Wapiti is how you say it, and it means elk. And I don't remember which native tongue, but one of the tribes called elk Wapiti. Alright, just like that. What's down here? Is it just a turnaround area? Yeah. Just a place to pull over and take a picture and park. But it does have a no camping around here sign. So you have to be in that gated area if you are camping here at the Hale Dispersed Campground. It does not say dispersed on the signs. Y'all need to realize that. I forgot to mention that. All of these that I'm showing you are dispersed camping only. They are the forestry sites. And that's what you get. $12 to $14, 16-day camping limit at most of them, not all of them. But it's a beautiful view. Look at this. You're out just basically right outside of Yellowstone. And there's your Hale Campground sign right there. Alright. We'll see if there's any more in between here and Cody. I don't know if there is. But if I find it, you'll see it. Even in the Yellowstone National Forest, before you get to Yellowstone, is absolutely gorgeous, y'all. All these campgrounds I'm showing you are in the National Forest, not in the National Park. A lot of people forget to look up National Forest when they're camping. Don't forget, there's plenty of campgrounds. However, most of them are going to be dispersed campgrounds. But if you're a real RVer, then you're going to get solar and all that figured out, and generators and all that figured out when you are ready to actually be an RVer and not a campgrounder. That's what I say. And in saying that, we've been full-time since 2020, and it is October of 2020, and it is July 22nd of 2025. We did the same thing like everybody else from 2020 till January of 2024. We only stayed in campgrounds where we plugged in and did all that, had the amenities, and we were basically tourists and travelers and not glampers. I'm going to call this, I guess, glamping, because we can still use AC while dispersed camping in the middle of nowhere because of our solar, and we have enough battery banks. So as long as you work that properly, you can still use all your solar while you're out in places like this. It's beautiful out here. So when you get ready to go real camping, in your RV and really be RVing like your RV was intended to use, check out our boondocking information playlist. You'll find all the information there that you need to comfortably boondock. Because we swore off tent camping and uncomfortable camping, or at least I did when I got out of the military. I'm talking day one of being a happy little civilian. I swore off tent camping or being uncomfortable ever again. So that's why we decided if we're going to do this, we want to do it comfortably. And now we're at the Clearwater Recreational area. I thought it said campground, but it didn't. Since it didn't say campground, I'm just not going to go see that one, because maybe I'll see it a different day. I don't need to see that right now. I'm showing y'all all the campgrounds. This one says Elk Fork Recreational Area, though, and it said it had a campground, so I don't know. Maybe the last one did, so if it did, sorry. I didn't show it to you. But I'm not going to turn around right now and go back. But I'm showing you good enough, I feel like. Let's see. 16-day camping limit, $15 fee here. Food storage required. However, I did not see a sign anywhere that said that you had to have a hard-sided camper. It does say grizzly area, be aware still. But this campground did not show on the sign that you can't tent camp like some of the others did. So let's see how big this spot is. That one would probably be big enough for a smaller Class C, maybe. But this one, I would be like Sprinter van only, for like Site 5, Sprinter van only, something that size. Site 6, you might be okay with the 20-footer. Site 7. Site 9. However, I will say, there's nobody here. Nobody. If you want an isolated campground, I'm going to say come to this one. This is the only one I've been to that's empty. I'm kind of shocked, actually. Because this is peak season right now. Looks like they have horse stuff up that way. no trailers beyond this point, so I guess you can ride your horses in here, and that's why it's a rec area maybe for horse riding and not just camping. Pretty small, but if you are car camping, truck camping, small Class C, or camper van, sprinter vanning, you can use this campground. Feel like that's probably gonna be about it though. But if you can fit in any of these, you're golden, because you are by yourself. You're in peak season. This, again, July 22nd. Beautiful view though, look. And then we're coming out right here. Elk Fork Recreation Area. Wapiti Campground is going to be right here. So basically almost right across the street. So we're going to pull in here. Again, if you're going to Yellowstone during peak season, get in the park pretty early. It's 9:30 and I'm seeing so many cars right now, I would not want to do it. But maybe I'm different than most. We don't like crowds. Wapiti Campground, here we go. See if anybody's up in here. So you can, it said angler parking, so I guess you can come here and also fish. Let's see, this one also has a, oh, this one's more. $30? Let me go see that. Okay. This one actually, Wapiti has electric and non-electric. If you get an electric site, you are paying $30 a day, or $15 if you have your not military free pass. You're getting 2 sites. If you're using non-electric, so basically disperse camping, you're looking at $20 or $40. And I don't see anywhere here that says no tent camping. So adult elk hunt area, that's cool. However, like I said, Wapiti is Native American for elk. So that's what campground we're at now. Let's go see if we can find some. Just show you right here, it even shows you the electrical hookup sites for sites 1 through 20. And there are campground hosts here. So just remember they're going to be checking, and don't try to pull in a site that you're not paying for, because there are campground hosts. Wow, these sites are actually a little bigger. It was not as big, but the first one was. So this guy is in site 5 to give you an idea of size of what you might be able to fit in here. Well, they've got 2 cars and a camper, so this one's got a lot more people in it. A lot more, but that's how it goes whenever you have full hookups, doesn't it? People want to live in comfort. Tell you, that's why solar has been such a game changer. We can camp solar and the mini split combined, because we can camp places no one else can, because most people want shade. Well, we don't need shade because we have solar. Solar shades our roof quite a bit, but then we also have that mini split that we can use 24/7 no matter what, because we have enough solar to run it, and it does not overheat our system like a soft start in a rooftop AC does. So tell y'all, once you really want to get comfortable boondocking and see the best spots known to man, you got to do it boondocking. You cannot do it in RV park spots. So get that solar and get that mini split so you can actually enjoy the most enjoyable spots in nature. See, look, spot 1 is really large. I'm just going to kind of show you because that might be the biggest one. There is a double site, but I don't know if 2 people my size, our size, could fit in it. But this is site 1. It's not as large as I would think, actually. It's just the trees are deceiving. These trees out front make it look like it might be bigger than it is, but it's not. It's like that. All right, and this one is going to be the non-electric sites. So this would be what you were doing if you wanted to do the dispersed camping. Saves you some money, because let's remember, we put the money in the solar in the mini split instead of into the campgrounds. That's how you got to look at it though, y'all. When you're doing your research and you're doing your development and you're figuring out what you want out of camping, remember, you can invest in someone else's dream and pay for electric and power and all that, or you can invest in your dream and put your money on your roof in solar. And then you can, our solar, our Victron, our mini split, all paid for itself in a year of not paying for campgrounds. Not kidding, in less than a year actually. You're definitely in the woods here, but with a name like Elk Campground, what would you expect? But remember, if you got solar, this is probably not going to be a whole great option. And if you have a generator, you cannot use it after 10. Actually, I didn't even look. Some spots say you can't use one at all. I didn't look on this one, so that's up to you to do your research. I'm just kind of showing you the sites. But here we are. This is going to be site 40 right here. Finally got behind somebody, I guess, for the first time today. And just like that, we're about at the beginning again. Just remember, Starlink ain't gonna work out here unless you, well, probably could, because you could find somewhere right there to point it out. I know you could. That was a campground host spot, of course, but alright. And man, he's got some smells coming out of his stuff. I don't think something's right with his truck. But that is the Wapiti Campground, just like that. And I'm going the wrong way. I'm going towards Yellowstone again. I gotta go back. Road work. I love it. Got a kayaker out there this morning. Don't blame them. It's beautiful. This is not the most beautiful, but here we are. Looks like we're getting ready to move. They're chip sealing the road, whatever that means. I need to get that fixed while we're at it. But here we go. Yeah, I don't want none of that. Like, none of it. Like, no. Like, no thank you. Beautiful. I'm still glad that I went to Yellowstone this morning. Beautiful morning. Beautiful start to my morning. Looks crazy over here how in the valley it's like smoggy, cloudy, misty looking. Yeah, if you're trying to go to Yellowstone and you're trying to go to Yellowstone during peak season and there's road work and you're down to one lane of traffic, you ain't gonna like the result.
Thanks for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you again next week. Don't forget, we post every Tuesday. See you then.